Microsoft Flight Simulator, this is your Sky Captain speaking. We're going on a scenic tour of the Los Angeles area, a mega city with sprawling cities that are attached to it. With that, be sure to like the video so that we can do more exciting tours, and subscribing is awesome as well. Past that, if you notice that we fly over maybe your house or an area that you're familiar with, it's always exciting to hear comments and tales about the particular areas that we visit in this game. And yeah, let's continue and begin really our journey at taking a look at this vast area, because this is a very, very big location. We're going to be starting by kind of going up the beach side here and then wrapping around kind of around the downtown area over there, and then eventually hitting up to where Disneyland is to show that off. So first off here we have, well, the LAX, so just Los Angeles Airport. Kind of a big place. I've been there a few times, because I do E3, so, I've been to this place a number of times for visits. So I know some of the areas and the landmarks, but I really haven't ever explored the area. I'm usually there for work. So it's kind of neat to be taking a look at this. Online text-to-speech unavailable. I've turned off text-to-speech anyways. I don't know why it keeps popping up for me. And we're going to try to keep this kind of leveled here. So first up on the screen, past the fact that it gave some weird random warning, we have the Marina Del Ray. So this is like a bit of a marina area that leads out into the ocean. Very vast. Look at all the planes taking off. It's crazy. And yes, there are other people kind of exploring as well. I don't know if we'll run into anybody, but they are out there doing their big explorations themselves and taking in what this world has to offer. So kind of a big area. And then just north of this, we're going to try to go a little bit lower, though, because we do want to show off some of the more fine-tuned details of the environment. I kind of just like to start a little bit high, but yeah, I like to get more of the fine-tuned things. So we're going to try to keep the flight sort of at a good level so that you can see, a good amount of distance, while at the same time not being, too low that we're having issues. So just north of the Marina Del Rey, we also have the Venice Beach and the Santa Monica Pier is coming up here. So you should be seeing these along the beach area. And of course, a large-scale beach that sort of makes up a big area. Oh, actually, the wave kind of hits on there. It kind of look really nice. And like I said, I'm sure there's tons of little smaller details here that I obviously just won't be aware of because I'm not like local to the area. We also have a smaller airport there too as well. I believe there's quite a few, kind of in the region of, well, Los Angeles in general, because there's so many cities and stuff. So we're kind of making our way up here. I don't think we necessarily want to go to the Getty Villa, because that's way up there quite a bit. But we're going to kind of hook along the hills so that we can talk about spots like that. And here's Santa Monica, kind of that area. I think that's the Pier area there. It might be partially sunken because not everything renders perfectly in the game, obviously. And you'll notice that not everything is perfectly up to date because, it does use some dimensions from a few years prior. Yeah, I think you can see kind of like a Ferris wheel and stuff. Big parking lot. But I believe some of it looks like it's a bit sunken, at least from my knowledge of the area. And then we're coming up here, and it should be the Getty should be on the main road. But lots of houses going right up into the mountains and kind of beyond, but we're going to start adjusting our touring area a little bit. So there's Riviera, Brentwood Park, and the Brentwood Heights. And then we should be coming across the Beverly Hills area in a little bit here, but we still got quite a bit of distance to go before we're there, and it's just a nice sort of scenic flying experience, which is cool. You get dotted kind of skyscrapers in areas that lead all the way towards the downtown, and I think we're also going to try our best to hit towards the Universal and everything like that. I am using also a map to kind of help me out to make sure I'm like sort of on the right path for showing everything off and kind of giving you at least a decent tour of the particular area. Trying my best here. There's a major artery highway that we're kind of passing over. You can see that. Well, we're not passing over yet, but we're, on the approach, I guess you could say. So that's one of the major ones going through here. It'd be really cool also if there was more of like a scenic mode, and I might just not be aware of that. Kind of want to see that. Looks like it's Bel Air over there to the left with the Stone Canyon Reservoir. That big thing of water over there. That's what it looks like to be. So that means we're kind of going along the Beverly Hills sort of area. down below, I guess. Lots of different fields for sports and stuff, which, you know, obviously makes sense, football and all that. It actually looks quite charming, and it's sort of funny how there's like these stretches of like, you know, skyscraper buildings. There's Beverly Hills specifically right over there. Yeah, perfect. And then we'll be leading towards Universal, the Griffith studio, and everything like that will be on the hills over yonder. So that pool of water should be the Franklin Canyon Reservoir. So that should be that water little pool thing there. I try to, you know, show off the pools of water the best I can, because I do find lakes and stuff to be quite fun to sort of visit and point out in my, you know, humble opinion there. So we're kind of just flying along here, and then we've got Crescent over there. That's interesting. But yeah, it's hard to also tell distance because how big areas are. Like, this is, you know, obviously just a massive massive city, and flying over it is so different when everything is actually to like a proper sense of scale. So we should be getting closer to our next sort of highlight area, and I'm just trying to time it well so that I can kind of fly over, because I want to show off Universal and everything like that. So that body of water you should see just over to the top there is the Hollywood Reservoir. And then down here we should have the TCL Theater and the likes. So we're just going to kind of go down a bit so we can show that off more. And then we're going to hook a quick left over so that we can get to Universal Studios as well. So we should be, I'm hoping the details are good enough here. See, there's a little bit more tree growth cover than one might necessarily expect in this area. But this should be like a major sort of like Hollywood type street. There's the Dolby Theater that we're flying over. So I don't know if this is perfectly representing the different spots here, but we're just kind of quickly going over, right? Like, this is also like a bit of a slower plane as well, but this is like my tour plane. So these are some of the, like, the main kind of strip area, and then we're gonna hook a bit of a left over here so that we can go over and show off Universal Studios, the lot there. And again, this is the Hollywood Reservoir area right there, the body of water. So we pass like the TCL and, you know, Dolby Theater and everything like that. Obviously, with Dolby Theater being on the top, very helpful for map picking, right? And we're kind of going here, and that's Lake Hollywood Park. This actually looks like it'd be a really nice area to kind of visit. Actually, I think this would be kind of a neat spot for me to check out at some point down the road. But we should have Universal Studios be kind of to the right of this main road. It should just be coming up there with some of the buildings and stuff. You should be noticing that. And Warner Brothers Studio will also be down that way, kind of where all those lot-type garage buildings are. That's where that is. And like Burbank is up that way. So this should be Universal right here. Universal Studios. So you can see some of the landmarks are kind of presented here. Some of the different buildings should come alive. And there's the big water thing. I think that's, was a Water World and everything like that. So that's Universal, and then the entranceway. So it's not perfect at rendering it. I hope someday they maybe do like a Los Angeles pack and upgrade it further. That'd be quite cool. So we're just going to continue going to the right here, and then you're going to see the Warner Brothers lot. And there's Burbank there. And Bob Hope, which is another airstrip, I believe. Trying to even this out by not also going too low. But I want to give a good view of the Warner Brothers things. And I know there's so many different landmarks and stuff here, so apologies if I am missing something where somebody's screaming and they're like, oh, you have to check out this area. And I'm just like, I'm trying my best to show off as much as I can. But that should be the Warner Brothers lot there, where they've got all the, you know, different filming spots where they do a lot of the different shoots indoor and everything like that. And then we're coming up here, so this should be more of the park. I'm going to try to do more of an immediate turn, because I want to show off the Hollywood sign, which I think is decently kind of described here, or at least decently shown, if that makes sense. Like, you can kind of tell it's there. And like I said, not everything is perfect in terms of like scale and rendering of the designs there. Ooh, looks like that. There's the Hollywood sign. You're kind of seeing it on the left. So we're going to kind of fly around here a little bit and try to keep it smooth too, just so it's like not nauseating for anybody, so they can actually experience this. And there is the Hollywood sign. Kind of cool. Yeah, Hollywood. That's perfectly rendered out there, so you can see that. And then if we keep going this way, we should come across the Griffith Observatory right there. You're kind of seeing it, that big building that's in between all these kind of hills. Actually, surprised there's not like more buildings up on the mountain. Maybe it's like an actual like protected park. So there's the Griffith Observatory. Oh, it's so nice that it's kind of like, you know, really highlighted. So a lot of movies, a lot of shows have, you know, used that as a bit of a backdrop, as a big place where you can kind of do stuff and then see things in films. They use it as a backdrop, kind of a neat area. So there's the main kind of downtown area. So we should be heading in that direction now. And I believe this body of water is the Silver Lake Reservoir, which means Dodger Stadium and the lakes, if it's here represented, should be on the other side of that. Getting towards the downtown area. Oh, and that's the main water thing. Like, they use that for a lot of like movies. They kind of use that for shoots, that little kind of dipped in area. Not the water here, but over to the left, you see that kind of river kind of lake thing going through. There's Adams Square over there, but we're going to the we're going towards the downtown area. So this little body of water here is Echo Park, and then the Walt Disney Concert Hall should be just past it. As we head towards the downtown area. Oh, and there's the this is the stadium right there. I guess we'll do a quick little flyover so you can see that in action. That should be Dodgers Stadium, I believe, right here. Huge parking lot, jeez. Absolutely massive. And that is the Knott Junction. I don't even know about that one at all. And Little Tokyo. But that's more of the, like, they use that for a lot of movies, that water kind of streak in the middle there. But we're going to go downtown. So this is actually usually the area I sort of stay around, is the downtown. Sometimes I had one where I was, like, right in the downtown area near the end of it. Like some apartment suites, and then sometimes just outside of it down that way towards, like, the Beverly Hills area and everything like that. And I think, you know what, actually, I don't think I showed off, or no, I think I did. There was, I think, like, Santa Monica and stuff, but yeah, I kind of went over those. But anyways, here's the downtown. Because I think last time we did this on PC, one of the big buildings, like the big building, wasn't built yet, but apparently it is now. So I don't know how up-to-date the downtown section is, but kind of cool flying over the buildings. It's like literally, like, I've been here, which is just even more neat. Like, I've driven past that on like an Uber picking people up. Kind of funny. And then really fast, that's the LA Convention Center. That's also where they play basketball right there too, and that's like another building for E3. Like, a bunch of these buildings are used for E3, but this is the Los Angeles Convention Center, so that's where a lot of the E3 stuff goes on, is right there. And we are flying so fast, I'm kind of like missing stuff, but there's another really classic sort of theatrical place just down the road, but I think we might have passed it. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, it's like the university area. Yeah, the university's right around here. And I think the Gallon Center is something around the left. That might be the Gallon Center. And then the other building, I think, right around here somewhere. Sorry, it's faster than I thought it'd be. I'm trying my best to keep up with this stuff. But there was like a couple of cool places where I go for E3 right along the stretch where I was like, oh, this is cool to highlight. But yeah, that's like the university grounds. Guess we're flying by there already. But I was thinking, I'm trying to see where it was. Oh, never mind. Los Angeles Convention Center. Sorry, the map that I'm using for guidance is like full of other stuff now too. But let's continue our journey onwards. Yeah, LA Live and stuff. I actually kind of want to. Yeah, we passed it. I'm sure you saw it if you saw it. But we're going to be continuing our travel down south this major road, because that will eventually take us to Long Beach if we go far enough. So we're gonna continue along there. And again, apologies if I'm just not showing any detail with or any area with not enough detail, because this is like, we're flying, so we're actually going pretty quick. You gotta be snappy on some things, but there's like Long Beach down that way. So that should be a pretty cool area, but we are more interested in going to, obviously, Disneyland and Anaheim there. So that's kind of our direction. It's a bit of a diagonal almost that we'll be taking here. There's Athens, Westmont over there. It's the airport. So we kind of did a big loop around. We've actually covered a ton of distance if you think about it. We've actually gone some pretty good mileage. Covered a good kilometers distance, eh? Graham, Florence. Trying to not hit all the little markers, because I'm sure they're a little bit easier for some people to kind of have an idea of where exactly we're flying to. And there's Compton and Woodley. Man, some of these overpasses are just like insanely large scale. We're starting to get more where I live, like large scale overpasses, but still not always to this like high of a degree, if that makes sense. So we're kind of going down this road. I'm trying to see if we can get some of the water details of this area. Maybe the golf course. I'm not dedicating myself to if that's where that is, but we are eventually wanting to get to Disneyland. Oh, it'd also be cool to fly over Knott's Berry and talk about that one as well. So we do have another Compton Woodley. I think that's like the airport there. Yeah, okay. Now we're making our way through the Long Beach area once we get to the end of this. And then we've got like a bit of it looks like a green space is over there to the right. So that would be a connection of Terminal Island and like Rolling Hills estates and stuff like that. So that's kind of a different sort of spot for us to be going across. We are going to want to start doing a bit of a hook to the left as we make our way over to Disneyland, right? Because that's where we all want to go, Disneyland. But thought we'd show off a bit more of this area this time around, because even on my flight to Disneyland, I think I did, or Disneyland last time, I did a bit of a skip along, just because, we were doing more time-based there, and I wanted to get to the spot. But this time, I think it's a little bit more of a scenic sort of viewing distance as well. That's kind of the goal, is just really showing off the extended flight and the locations and everywhere around here. So now we're back on the big... That is really a long sort of water, I don't know if you'd call it like a reservoir or canal, but an irrigation type canal. I think that's what we usually call them here. I don't know if it's got a different function in Los Angeles, this water thing, but that's usually what we sort of use it for, is piping water in and around. So we are making a bit of a turn here to the left. You're going to start noticing that as we kind of round our way around trying to get to the Disneyland area. It's Carson to the left. So we are making our way well. So if we just kept going that way, there'd be like Wilmington and the Queen Mary area, the Long Beach, and everything like that. That's kind of what those dotted sort of open islands are straight ahead off to the horizon, if you notice those. So that's kind of what that area is. I don't know if people specifically wanted to see it, but we're going to start making our connection over to the left here as we get closer and closer towards our ultimate destination. So yeah, it's just kind of a fun tour, basically. I hope I'm showing it off well enough. Oh, this is a massive shipping container area. Like, holy. That is crazy. And looking from where we've come, just massive sprawling distance. I really love the sense of scale that's captured on Series X. It's actually just incredible. like absolutely incredible. So that there specifically looks to be, like, they call it the Queen Mary's down there, but that area, the Queen Mary's like a boat that would be docked over there, but that's like Long Beach is over there where you can see the elevated buildings in the skyscraper areas. So that's kind of cool. We still got quite a bit of distance to go as we continue along here, though, so stay tuned. But we are getting closer to Disneyland, and I would like to fly over Knott's Berry as well on the way there. And we've got another kind of airport area, it looks like, as well. Or just, yeah, that's what that is. Long Beach right here, Signal Hill. That looks like a bit of a fancy hill estates area. Kind of just crazy to be flying over this whole area here, right? And then down to the right there, where you can see kind of the water coming into the land, that looks like to be a bit of a marine area, the Seal Beach National Wildlife Refuge, and Sunset Beach as well, kind of down that way. So we are keeping our course so that we do end up actually getting to Disneyland as well, but I thought that was something that was worth highlighting on the right-hand side there towards where that beach area is. But we're continuing our way down the street because we should be getting closer to our destination here. It's not too far off yet. And that is a weird looking pyramid. I'm actually not familiar with that. The pyramid building there. It's kind of funny. Let's see. Okay, I think we're getting a little bit closer to our destination, Los Alamotos. Okay, so once we get to there, to the left should be where Knoxbury Farm basically is. And then to the right a little bit will be Disneyland. So we are getting closer to our destination. Oh, it looks like a nice little park area. So I believe this park would be El Dorado East Regional Park and West Park as well. So that's kind of what that spot that we just kind of flew over right there is. And then we should be seeing Los Alamitos. Again, not too great with this area. There's Los Alamitos. Okay, so that's the spot we were going to. And then over there, and just up ahead should be Disneyland and the like. Kind of exciting, am I right? On the way to Disneyland together. So yeah, that's kind of a training base, I guess. Cypress is right there. So then we got Adventure City will be coming up too, but I kind of want to specifically look at Knott's Berry. So we're going to have to check that out. We should be getting very, very close to it. Because we are just hitting the tip of this. So it should be a few blocks, and we should see on the left here Adventure City and Knott's Berry along this area. I don't know if Adventure City is like a big thing or not, but it's showing up as an amusement thing on the ride, or on the map. So I'm kind of like, oh, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, it should be coming up here. I think that's what some of those poking out structures are going to be as we get along to the left. We're going to kind of just be going a little bit lower here as we reach our spot. I think this is something that we were wanting to show. Along here. No, not quite it. Ah, there we go. That's step one right there. So just over there we got Buena Park. And to the right will be Anaheim. And this should be Knott's Berry right here. Again, I don't know how well detailed this one will be in terms of sticking out from the environment, but you know, you can see the park right there. I've actually been here too, but I've been here a very, very long time ago. So there it is. And then there's like Knott Soak City, which I guess is like a bit of a water park. I don't remember that specifically, but there it is on that side. And this looks to be like a large mall area right there. So that's kind of cool, but let's head down that way towards Disney Park, or Disneyland Park. So that should be right down this big road on the left, and that should take us right to where we're headed. And also seeing that Anaheim is over here as well. And if we were to continue down from Anaheim, we would go to Santa Ana, and Irvine, everything would be down that way. And then there would be a number of big mountain regions, and the Chino Hills State Park would be over that way. So again, just trying to show off a bunch of different locations along the way. Let's continue along. And we're almost at Disneyland. So this, right up here, all the trees and everything should be our Disneyland final destination, basically. That's where we were trying to go, was to show this area off. And as we do reach the end of our journey, thank you for coming along on this flight. If you'd like to see other places shown off, let me know. I'll try my best to do a cool tour. Again, liking the video if you haven't is great. Subscribing is awesome as well. And here is Disneyland, which I've been to when I was very, very young, and it's very different now. Now this one is quite covered with trees last time I visited it, so I imagine it's not going to be perfectly represented, but hopefully you're seeing, some of the key landmarks here, even like, Space Mountain, everything like that. I think you're kind of seeing to a decent degree. We're going to go and we're going to do another loop around because we're not going to continue past this point, but I do want to show off the Disneyland area a little bit more in depth as we go here. So there we go. That's more of Disneyland in action. I just know this is like a very, important kind of place that a lot of people love seeing. So we're going to kind of just cut around and go, decently low to it so you can see all the finer details of the area. Do a bit of a flip in a plane. No big deal, no big deal. There we go. I think this is more of like the adventure park right here, where all the water and stuff is. Yeah, it's actually so cool that you can see so many of the little details of this place, right? Like, I don't know, that's the Himalayas area? Oh, yeah, and then, oh, that's so cool. I wish there wasn't so much, like, tree coverage. Like I said, they really need to do a Los Angeles pack to do more detail of this area. But I hope you enjoyed our tour of the area and you got to see some cool places. And you got an idea of the different areas. Is that someone else flying down there? Because keep in mind, other people can, like, they're flying in the world too. But yeah, that's a close look down. I think like Main Street. There's the castle. That's the water area. Oh, Disneyland, eh? Pretty cool, right? And yeah, enjoy your own tours out on Flight Sim on Series X. Kind of a cool place to visit the world, right? Gorgeous.